They heard that.
Got him.
We love you, Coop.
Well, hey, you were given the wrong countdown then. I blame you for this.
What are you talking about? I said 3, 2, 1, and then I unmuted us. But no. It's all good.
You said 3, 2, and then I went.
True.
Oh, goodness. Waffles, take it away from me.
All right. You guys are back on the ship with your loot. You're definitely not level 4. Tetsu's level 1.
Cool. We're level 3 for sure then, right?
Yeah. You're level 3. Minus 1. All right, now you're all back on the ship with your loot from this laboratory. None of you died. Some of you are currently dying, but we won't know that till you wake up from a long rest. What's the plan?
That's not threatening. Well, upon returning to the ship, just a quick status check on everybody. So Esne, is she up and is I know her name.
Nanal?
Nanal.
Yeah.
Remember
Yes.
Esne's name, but not Nadal?
See, that's what tripped me up.
Work?
That's what tripped me up because I was looking at my notes and I saw Esne and then I was like, fuck.
Nanal's been with you since episode 1.
I'm sorry, Nanal.
Zehal?
No.
I'm just very self-absorbed, so I only know my own name.
For sure. Yes, Esne, the android you guys brought from the Starfinder Society down on Roselight, is there, and Nanal is there. Esne is up. Nanal doesn't look like she's burned down the ship or attempted to steal it. Attempted to steal it.
I'm glad she neither
You're
stole
Alabama
nor
showing.
tried to steal. Okay. In that case, I mean,
Sweet home.
I would, as we're getting back to the ship, I want to check in with everybody. Do we want to update Nanal because she is technically not a part of the Starfinder Society, which is something that I think we do forget, like that she's technically an independent diplomat agent.
No.
I did not forget that. We should not tell.
If anything, we
Yes.
just say, no one's left. It's all empty.
If only
kinda fucked
because,
up.
she's literally a diplomat. Like, her whole thing is telling things.
Yeah. No, I will.
Well, she has also told lies and hidden information, and we don't know that she is not working for the Tellers.
Yes. Well, I have no problem simply not telling her anything. Like, and in Zeha's eyes, she's happy to just go on the ship and be like, okay, let's fly to Absalom. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need a hey, how'd it go?
Yeah.
And this conversation's happening like as y'all are getting ready to get on the ship, and then y'all get on the ship. Maybe about 5 to 10 minutes pass, and Nanal comes out, and she's like, "So, what'd you find down there?"
Exactly what I said. So, how'd it go?
Hey, how'd it go?
Tetsu drops the robot he was dragging and says, "The defenses were still active. They're dead."
We got beaten to shit,
can go.
though. Like,
So
that's his excuse for looking like on death's door of just like,
Yeah, Tetsu looks wrecked.
like
For sure. And she's looking at you. So, you destroyed the defenses. If you didn't leave them up, I assume the contemplative died.
There was.
Yeah, there's a bit of him in one section of the room and a couple other sections of the room. Yeah, it wasn't very pretty.
Anyways, we're gonna
Oh,
go head
wow.
off to Absalom Station now. How is Esne?
Well, she was up looking for food. I gave her some of y'all's rations.
She's an android.
Androids can eat.
We eat.
Androids are
I'm-
partially human. Get out of here.
Why would they make
Tetsu
androids
looks
able
over,
to-
like, stunned.
Just feed her
You
motor
machinist.
oil.
Zeha is found out to be android racist. I'm sorry.
Let us vent her.
Well, that's good. Come on. We
Wait.
do have to get going. And she's gonna try to just
Wait.
not continue to answer questions. Like, just move on.
yeah, Eisen is just like, let's go to the cockpit and fly away.
Sure.
I think the term is now spacist.
Not to completely like have to role play it out or anything, but and feel free to tell me if you want to go any other direction. But what I assume happens, just for the sake of story, is she is going to continue to ask questions, and eventually she catches on to the fact that you guys just don't want to answer.
Yeah,
so
Tetsu hides in his room
Zeha is
and just starts.
trained in the diplomatic ways as well.
Sure.
So I want to do two things. Can I sense motive via culture using, because I definitely know Nanal. I've checked her before, and just get a sense of like, why are you probing? Is this abnormal? Because we've seen how little she gives us information willingly from her end, and yet now she's like, what about this? What about that? And then she's actually probing. After that,
Sure.
I will not be coy about the fact that we're no longer asking her questions or answering her questions, which I will role play out, but let me roll first.
Absolutely. Give me the culture check as a sense motive. I have rolled my check already.
That is
Also,
a
Waffles, would it
25.
be okay to...
Sorry.
I'll let that finish before I ask my question.
Yeah. You get the sense that she's definitely interested in what went down on the planet, mostly because she didn't get to go. You get the sense that she doesn't have any intrinsic like tie to the planet. There's no real reason she wants to know besides the fact that it is knowledge.
Got it.
She doesn't have a secret reason for wanting to know. You guys know something she doesn't.
Okay. In which case, like I mentioned, like Zeha's not being coy about it or just kind of like that passive aggressive not answering. After a certain point, once we do get going and get like her immediate captaining duties are complete, she will eventually just turn to her and just be like, I apologize, but we're not going to be able to give you a full rundown of the situation. It's private.
Oh, okay. All right. I'd figure you went in there, disabled defenses, and killed the contemplative. Okay. And you see her begin to like walk away, like just kind of like very slow foot, like strutting, like almost walking away.
I'm
So you
smirking.
hear smoke call up from the engine room. She's on to us.
Another reason to hate Nanal?
Chick.
Tetsu pulls out the mercy pistol. I got her.
No, I smirk at this. If that's what you deign to think, feel free.
Okay. And she just continues through the door. You hear it.
And she is amused at this. Like, she's dealt with this cattiness before. That's basically everyone from the Ramsemtem and against her. So
Sure.
The second we get paid for dropping her off, we jump her. That's what I'm saying.
get those
BSF.
credits.
Waffles, as we are kind of like setting up and preparing to fly back, Tetsu is going to, as part of like his science officer abilities, I think he could probably like monitor any like outgoing transmissions.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I just want to like know if messages are being sent or coming to us, just because I don't know if she's. And is there any way for me to tell like in what direction they're heading, like whether somebody's hailing somewhere? And no.
No, there's no way to tell what direction. If somebody was hailing something that you have hailed before, and like you kind of know the types of frequency, like whether it's a ship or Absalom Station or something, then you would be able to know. Other than that, no, it's pretty hard to tell.
And you will recall
Yeah,
as
I
well
wanna
that
just-
I have asked Grace to monitor this, like with you guys. Like we set this up with Grace. I've asked
Okay.
Grace in the past if when she was in her room, like what communication
Right,
she has
right.
done and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Tetsu then is just going to pay attention to what Grace is looking for and see if there's any communications. Like, he's worried she's, other than spying for, like, anybody on Absalom, but he's also worried that there might be, like, spying on. She might be spying for like the Tellas or something, and being like, "Yo, they did it." He doesn't trust her
Grace or
after
Nanal?
all
You
the
said
horrible
Grace.
stuff. No. I'm
Nanal.
sorry. He's asking, like, he's checking with Grace about like Nanal's transmissions and just keeping a track of the logs.
Okay. Yeah, and Grace would give you a rundown of anything that happened while you were gone, which was basically nothing. No,
Yeah, I mean, just
no
going
information
forward.
was sent out. Like, and Grace even probably gets stopped, but begins to go into this very long details of like her door opened, and then it shut, and then
Tetsu listens to
the
it all.
cargo hold door open. Yeah, all this goes through, and basically you get the sense that Nanal stayed on the ship, didn't send any transmissions, and nothing's really happened until y'all got back.
She made herself a sandwich. Right. She describes the details of the sandwich.
First
Two
layer,
pickles.
bread. Second
Tetsu-
layer, tomato. Third layer, 3 pickles. Fourth layer,
Len
4
walks into the
slices of lettuce.
bed. Len walks into the bedroom. Tetsu's got this cork board with like string and pins, just like marking her path throughout the ship.
Tetsu, are you okay?
I know what's going on here.
All right.
There's a code in the pickles.
Eisen, you also wanted something?
Yes. I forgot when the session ended last week, but before I got on the ship, I would have broken off like 2 of the hardy limbs of one of the trees outside, and just thrown them at Dr. Len at some point before going to the cockpit.
Sure. They hit him. He takes the final 2 HP he had left, and he falls unconscious.
Got him.
No, easy
Wait,
enough.
Why
You
are
guys
you
get 2
throwing
limbs
tree
retrieved.
branches at Len?
There was a
Because
very
like
curious fact that it's a moon and there is no vegetation except these random trees outside this laboratory.
that were meant to adapt, right? Like,
That's a good point, actually.
I mean, success.
yeah.
Alright, I doubt I can do much without a lab, but I'll see what I can figure out. Thank you.
And then my question
Eisen doesn't
to,
say anything. He just walks past.
my question to
Yeah,
Eisen will
okay.
also be Eisen via the GM. How long it will take us to get back to Absalom Station? I know that one of the main things is that we can drift to Absalom easiest, so I figured it's a shorter trip.
Yes. It was like 3 days out here per normal travel. Drift travel, basically from anywhere, is going to take you somewhere between 6 hours and a day. You get the sense of where you are, kind of on the outer edge of the Pact Worlds, that it'll take about a day.
I think that's probably our best bet. I don't really need this spreading or getting told otherwise. I think direct and quick to get back to Absalom Station.
If the 2 of them are like kind of alone in the cockpit and Nanal's not like lurking around doing whatever, Eisen will lean over to Zeha and be like, should we make a copy of what Grace has and delete our access? I don't want them believing that we stole something, obviously.
In the end, I don't think we're... I don't know. I mean, making a copy of it can't hurt. We have the information that she divulged to us, and we can direct Grace to delete all records of our access to her. But if we don't know Grace's origins, if the Starfinder Society were the ones that created Grace, they might have access that proves all of that rather pointless. And I don't know if it would look worse to have gone and tried to erase our findings. I think at the moment, all that we did was we talked to Grace and tried to understand what she had in her capacity. We can
Could we
ask
say
the
she
others.
offered it?
Yes. I mean, I would say that we definitely tried to understand what occurred, but we were under the assumption that the Aspis Consortium created and owned her, and therefore we're trying to understand if there were any dangerous information about them tracking us, or otherwise. We can ask the others. I can see it both ways.
It's more just the fact that we, like, I think we can sell that we just plugged her into the lodge as a means of her survival. Like, we had no other option, and she just took the data as just a process of, like, that I can sell. It's just the access that we did is a little,
Honestly, I think we should go about this with having nothing to hide, and I've always been under the impression that the more information one has, the more leverage one has, and I personally aim to be a part of the Starfinder Society at the end of tomorrow.
All I'm saying is I'm exhausted, and if I don't want to get shot in the head by some bureaucrat because we know too much.
Well, I have the bigger head, don't worry. They'll aim for me.
Oh yeah, we're technically close to the same height, aren't we? Because of like your proportions and my proportions.
Eye level, you're taller than me, but like the top of my head is a Kasatha, definitely.
It's up there.
You got a dome. You got an 8 head.
I do.
Yeah, she
I
got
do.
that forehead though.
I am pretty for a Kasatha, so don't judge. With the head.
Could land a plane on that forehead.
All right.
Now who's being spacist?
Land a rover.
Is anything else happening prior to this drift travel? I will remind that the drift travel, we're obviously probably going to skip through it unless something crazy happens. But it will be a day of travel, which will require Moat sleeping. So if any kind of treat disease is going on, it's probably going to happen prior.
You mean Len?
Yes.
We know Moat's bad.
I'll treat everyone that got bit like.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was
myself.
figuring would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Though there's something I want to do before treating disease.
Hit me.
Heal
Len
me.
would encourage Tetsu to take a short rest or a 10-minute rest, so we could then give him the last 4 hit points of the day that he has. So
Okay.
if you just spend a resolve point, then mark off 4 hit points, or mark on, I guess.
I spend a resolve point?
Yeah, because you need to take a 10-minute rest before I can give you more health. Because
He's gaming the system.
Basically, what he's doing
I'm a
is
genius.
You go into the cockpit, right, when we're taking off, and you're like immediately go into like computer science officer mode, and Dr. Len like comes in after you and then just steers you away and says, sit. That's what he's
Like,
doing.
you need to rest. You're looking really rough. Just take it easy. You can do all that computer stuff when you want to. I'm gonna treat you first.
Get out of here. Stop talking to Grace.
Meanwhile,
I
Moat,
put the corkboard away.
Moat hobbles their way to the engine room and basically spends the first 20-30 minutes back on board, spending the first 10 minutes to begin to repair Wasp, and then we'll spend another period of time, 10 minutes basically, to use resolve points to recover stamina, and then also as a part of that mode can get another round of repair into Wasp. So
Nice.
it recovers 4% of its, or 40% of its health.
Oh, okay.
Poor Wasp.
40%.
Poor Wasp.
4%, but it's a
it's
one
really
hit
low.
point.
It's really low.
I will. And by the way, just this thought came into my head, and I just don't want to forget to ever say it. But I am totally installing a protocol from Grace to, like, as I see Moat repairing Wasp, protocol from Grace to inform me and only me, anytime if I go into my room, if there's any listening or other AI devices, so I don't have to ask every time.
True. Grace tells you that they will do that.
Excellent. And then side question, is there a decontamination on this ship?
Nope.
Damn it.
And just as a reference, Zeha, when you leave the cockpit to go wherever, you like hear the sound of like crunching glass, and you look down, and like because of how injured Eisen is, there's just been little shards of him all over the place. Like he only has 4 hit points, and like he went down and is like broken. So like if you walk anywhere, especially in your shoes, like there's just crunching sounds of like little bits of him.
Zeha just pauses, looks down, like confused as what it is at first, and you see her glance back at you, and then she pulls out her comm unit, types something in, puts it away, and keeps going. And for the viewers, she adds, buy a Roomba.
Like, he's like just barely holding together, like his light is sputtering. It's like he's not doing well. He's not saying anything. He's just muscling through this and being like, I'm
Yeah,
fine.
I figure we're all just gonna rest once we get the ship going, but
I will keep distributing health as I can, but that was my last one
Yeah.
for the day on Tetsu.
Yeah.
Reminder: Starfinder resting does not give you all your hit points back.
correct.
Gives you, like,
Just-
one.
Oh, we know Waffles.
Yeah, we know.
I think it's your level times your con or something like that.
Oh, seriously? That's better than I thought.
No, it's
Yeah,
it's
I'll
worse
be-
than
times
that,
con
I
mod?
think.
I'll look it up later. That's
Right.
fine. Is there anything else going on before this jump?
Yes.
No.
I also want to just examine the tree branch that Eisen gave me, and pretty much do every test I can with the limited supplies on a spaceship to just see if it adapts well under inclement circumstances. Like maybe I'll stick part of one in a bucket of water and see how well it's doing after 8 hours. And I don't know, just whatever I can.
Sure.
Drown the guy.
You begin running quite a few tests on it. Give me a life science check.
Varso,
Come on,
Here
you're
comes a
baby.
natural
just
20, folks.
such a
27.
Oh, I was gonna say, Varso, you the player, are just such a scientist. I'm gonna stick it in a bucket of water.
Yeah.
I'll stick it in a bucket of water, see what it does. Okay. 27 with your limited resources on this ship and not really knowing what exactly this bark is, this kind of tree lumber is. What I will tell you is it doesn't soak up any water. You're kind of giving it a test. It's very hard to break. It's almost so hard to break, you still think it's alive. Even though obviously all the trees look very dead. And you're kind of you're going through these multitude of tests, and you get the sense that whatever this is, it is very kind of hardened, I guess. It is like a battle hardened warrior type of tree to stand up to lightning storms and stuff. You can even assume that some of those trees that were even still standing have been struck by lightning.
Like a carapace, almost.
Yeah.
It's almost like it adapted to the lightning.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
And you're not really sure what you could do with it, or honestly you're thinking about it while it's hard and it's kind of hard for you to break. Eisen snapped off limbs too, so you definitely don't think weapons or armor or anything could be made out of it, and you're not sure what it could be used for, but you get the sense that yes, these trees were kind of planted in an adaptation project kind of thing.
Yeah, okay,
Whoa.
that's what I was looking for.
What Waffles is not telling you is that they're also covered in green algae.
Yep. And
Save.
roll me a fortitude saving throw. No, I'm just kidding.
He already got bit.
Okay.
Well, I think I rolled super good on my fortitude. I think I'm good.
Nah, you're dead. DC 35.
Dang it!
I don't
I'm
think.
not going to treat everyone's disease.
Okay. Give me those. Tell me who you're treating and give me those 3 medicine checks. I think it's you, Tetsu, and Mo.
No?
I also
Oh.
got bit.
Eisen,
Did you
too?
get bit?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
I rolled a 21, but Eisen doesn't know whether that's all he knows is he got
Okay.
bit.
Gotcha. Tetsu, did
Yeah.
you get bit?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, you made me make a check, so I.
Did I make you make a fortitude save?
Yeah, I did well. It was high teens, low 20s, something like that.
Okay. Then I need 4.
Okay, I would ask Tetsu for just a hand to.
I am
do the medicine
helping.
stuff.
Oh, I actually. Well, 18.
What's the DC again? Do you know off the top of your head, Waffles?
8?
I think it is DC 15.
I think it's 15 too.
Yeah, it's. Oh wait, it's
Or is it the DC of the disease?
if your result exceeds the DC of the disease, the creature gets +4. Yeah.
All right. Give it to me then.
Okay, this first one's going to be on moat.
Do you have to roll
29.
8 every time?
Just barely
Oh,
failed.
that's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, could you roll 8 each time?
Yeah, so this one's 18. Or 18 to help.
What do you mean you
Another
failed?
+2 for you.
So 31. That might not make it moat. I'm sorry, dude. This one's going to
You
be for
did.
Eisen.
Please?
17.
12.
That still
You
helps.
suck.
So that's a success as
Oh, it
well.
does? Oh.
So 19.
I like this better than like the Pathfinder helping rules.
Yeah.
Well, this is
From what,
Pathfinder.
from what,
we
I,
don't
from
need
what
to-
I under, I was about to say, correct me if I'm wrong. From what I understand, aiding in Starfinder's DC 10.
Yes, it is.
That sounds right. I was just thinking Pathfinder in my head. That's why.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
one's
it's
going to
way
be for Tetsu. Can Tetsu help me help Tetsu?
No.
Help him help you.
Oh,
Natural
that's
one,
one.
bye-bye.
Oh no.
Okay.
You got a nugget!
You do find
gotta
a
save
chicken
your
nugget
boy.
or an owlbear nugget in your pocket.
You also have to roll for yourself. If you mutate, no one will be there to help.
Tetsu's got you. You're fine.
Pocket nuggets.
Wait,
Yeah, if Len feels like he's doing a bad job, he's going to use the nugget to reroll. Just quick pop it into his mouth, feel horrendous guilt wash over him as he reflects on the death of Horentho, and then roll again.
Horrendous or
27.
horrendous?
My God, his rolls.
Horrendous.
Why?
I'm built different, baby. This one's for me.
built different,
Okay.
baby.
Another one.
22.
Wait, can you medicine check yourself?
Yeah.
That one on the aid.
You can treat your own disease.
But
Yeah, I
Dr.
would
Len,
think
when
so.
did you get bit? I don't remember this.
I was the first one. Like, it snuck up on me while I was chilling by the dead brain dude.
By the other thing.
Yeah,
He
it
got
was
bit by
the
other thing.
contemplative's body that,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the small body that got him.
He got hit by the little body.
Little buddy.
right.
While Dr. Len is treating me, I would like to have a scene. We can do that either at some point. I would like to have a scene with Dr. Len alone.
Well, I'm standing
Sure.
right there. That's awkward.
Do it. Dr. Lin, you spend like an hour just you probably have all of them in your room or in one room or the cargo hold, wherever, and you're
The
just sitting
boys.
here going, yeah, you're just sitting here going through each of them, treat. It's like the same treat over and over, and you're doing well because you kind of get it. You've worked on this medicine. You know how to attempt to help them, especially like with the vaccine in your hand and everything. You think you've done a good job. Now it's up to their sleep and their body.
We're all dead.
That's because Dr. Len made the disease. It's his fault.
That's true.
At the end
Alright,
of this, when everyone is kind of filed out, Eisen will kind of stay behind and say, "Hey, Doc, could you think about patching me up a bit?" Like, you can easily tell from his face, like, he looks distraught where he didn't before. Like, something is, like, showing on his face that doesn't normally. And he, like, is just kind of filling in the whole space of the cabin door, as he's, like, the last second.
Yeah, Len kind of like looks him over for a second. I am all out of my, quick acting formula that would get you patched up quick, but I can bandage you if that's what you're asking.
That's fine. He'll come back in. We can talk about this once we've jumped. We'll have plenty of time. But I need to understand what that virus is. My people's body is unique, susceptible to things like this, and I need you to explain this to me as if I was a child, because I don't get it, and I'm a little concerned, and I would rather not have to go to someone outside of the ship for help. I would rather not have to explain this to someone who wasn't involved. If you explain it, I at least know I can blackmail you with the circumstances if things go wrong. So, can we figure out a time where I could sit down and you could explain this to me like I was a child?
Could I just get a quick sense motive to see if, like, these are actually his intents, or if he's trying to, like, I don't know, play the like sad card. No offense.
Yeah, give me that sense motive.
Do I even need to resist this?
19.
No, I think I'm gonna have y'all stop rolling deception/diplomacy, and I'm just gonna kind of explain during like alpha static DC based on sense motive. That way, we're not like gaming the system or anything. Yeah, Dr. Lin, you're obviously not you're obviously not sure what's true about his race or not. Like you don't have a lot of insight to his type of race. You do get the sense that he's being earnest, whether that's really over worried about something or just truly thinks this, or it's actually true. Like you're not sure, but you get the sense that he's coming from an earnest spot. Like he's telling you the truth in his head.
Yeah, of course, Eisen. I can talk now if you want, but I have to warn you, my description won't be very all-encompassing. There's a lot I don't know.
That's fine. We need to take off anyway. We'll have plenty of time during the drift. I figured it would just be easier considering it would make me feel better if I have to share a weakness that I at least know something of yours. So I feel like we can at least be on equal footing.
What the fuck?
Len noticeably bristles when you say this.
I will.
Thanks for making me sick, Doctor.
Meanwhile, Zeha in the back. Why haven't we taken off yet?
Pilot.
I like to think that Zeha actually says that as he's walking up, and he literally just goes to the seat and hits the go button because he already had it programmed in, and it's just like.
Deadpan
All
stay
right.
on DMS.
We drift traveling.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Now we're gonna slow boat it.
Who wants
Nice
to roll me
casual.
a 1d100?
I'm piloting, so can I do it?
You can this time. I do want to like rotate it through the party, so if you're piloting every time, I do want to rotate it, but we can definitely start with you if that's what we want.
Shoddy captain privileges next time.
What's bad, so we can react properly when this goes terribly.
I feel like an extreme
One,
will
one,
be
one,
something.
one.
High or low
Yeah.
is bad.
76 is
high-
kind of high.
Oh,
Yep.
no, he's looking for like 1 or I think, or 100.
That's rather middle, especially in terms
Kinda
of
mid.
Absalom Station, which is kind of like anchored. I'll go ahead and tell you. Anytime you're drift traveling to Absalom Station, it's gonna be like 100.
All right.
Like that's the only thing that's bad. It's anchored. The further out you are, I'm gonna like reduce it like 111. Like so, if you're in the vast, it might be 97 to 100 or something. But it's very anchored. Like you can go there from anywhere.
That makes sense.
But yeah, you guys take off. It is an odd feeling. You kind of pop into the drift. Everything around you is either space with no stars or complete randomness. Like there's no really better way to explain it. Like you see like what would look to be like Mount Fuji, but it's its own planet, just kind of like floating. And then you look in another place and you see a waterfall just on its own.
The Kool-Aid
And then
man
you
in
look
the
in
corner.
another place. Yep. And you look in another place, you see like half of a spaceship that looks just literally cut. Like it just, like nothing could make that exact of a cut.
In terms of like the lore, is the drift considered like an alternate plane? Are we basically like shunting slightly over? Okay, interesting.
Yep. It is a transitive plane. It's a completely alternate plane. Think of it kind of like the Shadowfell and Feywild. It's supposedly on a mirror of the material plane, kind of like ethereal or something, but
Yeah.
it's a transitive plane. It's used to travel.
My
Yeah,
question
yeah.
to that
It's like-
though is, while that's the lore, how known is that? Like, just like that might be what it actually is, but like, is that public common knowledge?
It is because during the gap, or like right after the gap, Triune became a deity, and there are different, like all the followers of Triune just know this as common knowledge. Like they're the people that were Triune set up drift beacons themselves, like the deity did, and then has since had like disciples and people that follow Trian, and those people have the knowledge to set up other drift beacons. Therefore, I assume they would know what the drift is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What about the followers of Tanagal?
They all died.
Fuck.
Yeah, Doldrin worshippers killed Tanagal worshippers.
That's unlucky.
Very
There you go.
unlucky.
Yeah, it's highly unlucky.
I think Doldrin and Tanagal would totally agree to have like a 10-year period where they like start like a pretend feud between their followers for shits and giggles.
I would definitely say like we set up like occasional crusades against one another just for funsies.
Just for funsies. For those that we feel take it too far in the wrong direction.
Guys, you should definitely go crusade against that planet of Tanagals. They suck.
All right. With this though, you're kind of popping out near Absalom Station, and you guys would wake up prior to this kind of pop out of the drift. So I am going to ask for just Moat to give me a fortitude saving throw with a +4.
Yikes.
Ooh.
No pressure.
You got this.
No pressure.
+4, right, for treat disease?
Yeah.
What's your
on,
fortitude
dude.
modifier?
Probably not a lot.
Can't hear you.
He said it, but he was muted.
Oh man, I clicked the unmute thing to toggle. Stupid thing. Wouldn't you like to know? Just kidding. It's
Roll
it's
the
a-
dice.
It's a 4.
Please, natural one.
So
Natural one.
it's a +4 for
Treat
Dr. Lynn.
disease. Yes.
Okay, 21.
Ooh.
Oh,
Damn it.
okay.
Just past that 20.
DC 22.
But is it
You
enough?
feel
Imagine.
you feel as if you're fine.
That's sus as fuck.
All right.
Len
Take
will
those.
check in on everyone, like, to make sure they're healthy.
Yeah, you're running through everyone. I'm gonna say with you having the vaccine, you kind of know by this time with a whole nother day, you know how to test for the disease now.
Okay.
Like you know how to like actually tell if someone has a latent version of the disease. And you're going through everyone. Everyone seems perfectly fine, except for Moat. Moat seems to have a latent version of the disease.
No,
This
buddy,
is after the
bad news.
fortitude saving throw.
You seem to have a latent version of the disease.
Quarantine.
I
You're going to need to go to a hotel.
want a second opinion.
Tetsu walks in.
Call my lawyer.
Please.
Moat's an anti-vax.
What did Tetsu say?
Tetsu walks in. You have the disease. I am sorry.
Damn it!
He's wearing a coat. He's very sad. He's just like,
Dr.
Dr.
Len
Len
hands
told
him
me to
a
wear the
clipboard.
coat. Yes.
We'll keep you monitored. I'll do everything I can to figure out how to make more of this vaccine.
I don't have the insurance for this. God.
It's going to be
I knew I should have gotten some. Do you think this counts as a
200,000
pre-existing condition,
credits.
Doc?
out of pocket.
Zeha walking by will keep her distance from you, Moat, hearing all of this, and she'll be like, I'm sure the Starfinder Society has great medical coverage.
when you tell Eisen he doesn't have the disease, he sighs something in relief, like a sigh of relief, and then never brings up what he told you the other day again. Like, you'll never get a clarification. Like, he just never
It's
He'll
okay,
be on bated
Eisen.
breath, but like won't bring it up.
I want to have some leverage on you, so I feel better giving you leverage on me. What the?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
All right, but popping out of the drift, kind of all this goes down. You guys pop out of the drift with the emissary. Seen from above, Absalom Station looks like an asymmetrical 6-pointed star, spreading out from the center, which the center is a huge dome with shocking greenery. Basically, like almost jungle meets New York City. Think like post-apocalyptic New York City with a kind of a jungle on the outskirts of it.
Central Park is a jungle.
There you go. It is Central Park, except more overgrown because I've been to Central Park. The rings are known to fill games and create housing, easier travel, and to fill space between the arms. Artificial gravity gives a known down as being perpendicular to the disc in the arms. Artificial day and night air scrubbers and water creation also exist within Absalom Station.
Okay.
And that is basically all you guys know, minus the fact that it is huge. For the viewers and my players, I kind of equated it today to the New York City of like the Pact, like basically just literally a space station. This space station is probably as large as New York City and has a lot of equivalent things. It has like 6 different residential areas. It has everything from bars to shops to
The financial district.
business districts. Yeah, it's crazy. But you are able to request docking, get a pass to dock, and you dock successfully.
And
Where
to
do
a
we
lot
dock?
of us, we are.
Do we dock in puddles? I kind of want to dock in puddles.
We are a lot of us familiar with Absalom Station and or have come from here originally, right? Or passed through here.
Yeah,
Yes.
a lot of you are relatively familiar with Absalom Station. Like obviously, like I said, New York City. Even if you spend 2 months in New York City, you haven't seen everything, but like you have a decent amount of familiarity with it. As far as where you dock at. I'm going to say you dock at one of the arms. You can tell me north, south, east, or west.
I would go wherever closest to the
Tetsu would suggest
Starfinder
west.
Society is.
Actually, we would ask Nanal, like, where are we dropping you off?
That's true.
That's a fair point.
Well, that would be within the Lore Spire complex. I assume you have things to speak with the Starfinder Society about as well. That is pretty much in the middle.
Now that we've docked,
So that's
though,
like a bit south, right?
Now that we've docked, though, Nanal,
Yeah.
about our second half of the payment.
Oh, right. Yeah. Here. And you see her kind of like pull out a comm unit, and we're all standing kind of in the cargo hold, ready to like get off the ship, and you see her tap a few buttons, and you all check your account. You all have plus 250 credits.
Yeah.
For her being delivered safely.
No, if she explodes, it's not our problem.
Now she died.
I would like
Good
to
thing
shoot
I
her.
placed that detonator on her.
Now we take off again and take her with
Tetsu?
us.
Tetsu's gonna go up to Esne and just say, do you have a place to stay or need a place for work now that your business blew up?
I can. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll be fine here. I can work on my own. I mean, I was working with the Starfinder Society. I'll likely just go to the Lore Spire complex myself. And
Oh, yes.
actually, like hearing her talk, like not dying as she was last time you guys spoke to her, she is very humanized for an android. Like most androids are kind of robotic and they're talking almost broken comm, and she is, like I said, very humanized. Like she has her own speech pattern and everything.
A lot of modifications, or very old maybe for an android. Like when does that typically happen? Do I know that?
It typically, so androids are kind of like a small version of AI, in my opinion. So the longer they've been out of their android positions, like not just a worker and go to sleep, not just a robot anymore, they become more humanized. So you get the sense that she has probably been, either she's never been a like enslaved android, or she has been around for a very long time.
Can I use this opportunity to roll a culture check on androids?
I'm gonna say you need a little longer. I'll let you roll one on just Esne herself. if you really want to. But for androids as an entire race, I'm definitely gonna say you need a little longer.
Okay, what about Dr. Lin? I think I failed the previous time I tried Syphozoans.
Yeah, I'll
Stay
give you
away
another one. We'll say like you kind of spent time during his doctor talk and everything.
Yeah, and I've had like one-on-ones with him a couple times as he's treated my disease as well and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
28.
Treat me, doctor.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Lin as an individual, again, not full Syphozoans. That we're still entire races are going to take a little bit for you, but Dr. Lin as an individual, you get what makes him. You get what turns his tentacles.
Please
Oh my.
rephrase that, please.
Nope.
You get what wiggles his tentacles.
I was about to
Rephrase.
say, what makes him like gibble?
Tickles his belly mouth.
Yeah, you get what rings his bell.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
there
have to
you
figure
go.
out how to
Alright.
track this
Ooh,
because
yeesh.
I have a differentiation between the race as a whole and an individual, and I'll figure that out at some point.
Yeah. Basically, what I suggest is just write down the individual because that's much quicker. That's like a day to a week, and then the race is. How my brain is going is like weeks to months, kind of studying them.
Okay, works for me. But otherwise, we do dock closest to the Starfinder Society.
To doc.
Which would be the south arm, as Moat said. You see the Lore Spire complex is very slightly southwest. It is not in the eye. So, yeah, you guys would dock at the south arm. And, yeah, this the Lore Spire, or not the Lore Spire complex. Absalom Station is yours. Obviously, I think you're known and it's expected to go to the Lore Spire complex first, but you can do whatever you want. If you want to just leave, go for it.
I make sure that
We
Moat
take the
is-
ship and go.
Actually, yes. As we
Disconnect Grace.
as we dock, like, how does that work with this ship and like Nanal being the one who chartered it? Like, does she do anything?
Thus far, it seems, since nobody was contacted like in the Starfinder Society or anything, it seems like you're docking like a normal ship. Like no one exactly knows you're here.
Okay, so we are like paying the docking fee. Like we are going and almost kind of taking
Yep.
it as ours.
Yep. And within Starfinder, it's kind of written in the rules that like paying docking fees and maintenance on your ship is just, it's part of it. Enjoy.
Absolutely. Okay, then, yeah, I guess we should. I'm hesitant to disconnect Grace. Perhaps we should. Not that I want to leave her here unattended either, but nor do I want to walk through Absalom Station with her.
I
Considering
mean, we could
others.
call someone to meet us.
Sure.
I say we just leave her, honestly, and tell them she's there.
There is security at these docks.
Zeha's still just not comfortable. Like, because think of it this way. One, there are people, like, the people from the Silver Drake that know this ship now, specifically, because they followed it.
Yep.
They also had plenty of time to get here prior to us. We don't know what
Tetsu
communication.
starts dragging the ship with us.
I will tell you, this is not to stop your train of thought or anything. I will just tell you that Absalom Station is vastly different than Upwell. Like this isn't a lawless place. Like Tetsu's right when he says there are security guards. Like it is like outformed police, basically, like ready on guard with weapons, like that kind of thing.
Yep.
Raise my hands doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean your ship won't get stolen, but that's just for all of you to know.
There still is like, okay, ship might not get stolen. We leave it here, and or we take it with us. But like, security or not, that's still a risk. So I don't mind calling the Starfinder Society and asking for, or just letting them know and asking if they would like us to bring it, or if they would like to send guard or whatever they decide.
We can disable the ship for the time being, as we're off, and then if they need to, repair it, they can. Or we can if it's going to be ours or something like that.
I'm not talking about the ship. I'm talking about Grace.
It's
Oh,
more just getting
well,
an escort
yeah.
to Grace.
Disable the doors.
Sure. I mean, if you wanted to contact the Starfinder Society, you could definitely do it from the ship. Like, easy enough. Like your comm units still work. You don't have any of their hailing frequencies to like call them up, but you can definitely contact them like from a ship.
Yeah, we'll call them. I'll call them.
We would
Okay.
ask a guard
The
for
main
like the front
desk.
desk at the Lore Spire complex. I'm sure the guards have
Yeah.
the ability to like.
Look at the
Contact
public
us.
directory for the public number.
Yeah.
Yep,
Easy
yep.
enough. Calling front desk of the Lore Spire complex. You hear a couple beeps, and you hear it pick up. You hear a female voice on the other side. GA P22. What would you like?
Okay, really, really quick aside. Were we not supposed to go back to the other planet? Wasn't that in our instructions?
I don't think so,
No.
honestly.
No.
You were hired by the other planet to protect Nanal, period. And then Nanal told you that her safe place was a Starfinder complex. The last one got blown up, therefore you assumed Hera was the closest.
Okay,
Right.
fine. Just checking that we weren't like never to be seen from again on that planet.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you get the sense he already made his deal with the Starfinder Society.
Yeah.
This is Zeha from the emissary.
Yep.
Yeah, of the emissary. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
We're returning
Okay.
and have just docked with the diplomat Nanal and a Starfinder agent.
Oh, you are with Nanal?
Correct. We have information for the Starfinder Society as well as a retrieval.
Very well, wait one. As she like just interrupts you.
Yep. Nope.
While we're waiting, Eisen will lean over and say, "Diplomatic pouch." We can call it a diplomatic pouch.
It sounds so weird.
Well, that's what it is, right? When a diplomat has something that needs to be of like sovereign territory, they have special diplomatic pouches that they can put things
I did not
in.
see Nanal with the pouch.
It's fine.
At the
She had
yeah
no
at
pockets.
this point you hear like pick back up the phone. You're put on some sick cyberpunk waiting music, and
I
then
hate this song they
Cyberpunk
played
menu
everywhere.
So
and then,
call me
she-
maybe.
Crust. She picks back up the phone and she's like, "Okay, you may come to the Lore Spire complex. I will set up a meeting. Thank you." And she hangs up immediately.
Perfect. That's all
Like,
I
should we
needed.
do-
That now it's on them. I will definitely go ahead and let Moat start disconnecting Grace.
All right.
Okay.
Grace, how long do you think you could last off of power from what you collected from the ship?
I feel I am sufficiently charged. Approximately 6 hours.
Well, all right. Get yourself ready. We'll disconnect you. Or if you want to disconnect yourself, you can just, go from there.
Small question. This is out of character. Do we even want
right.
to disconnect Grace? Do we just want to go to the Starfinder Society with all the information that we have?
I
You're
think
the one
that's
who
a
said
good
it.
idea,
I
actually.
didn't- I
And
never
we could
said
be like,
anything
"We have
about-
something."
You said you're gonna let Moat disconnect Grace.
No, I know.
Yeah.
This is
My-
me asking out of character because I just realized.
My thought is, if we're not staying in this ship, we want Grace with us. If we don't get to go back to the ship, we want her with us.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yep.
That's a
we
good
don't have to
point,
talk
yep.
to them about it. And then I will let you all know this. Like, I'm going to let Nanal and Asni, like, disembark as they see fit now that we've been paid, unless anybody stops them. But when it's just us, shoot her in the back. But when it's just us, I want to kind of just, like, ask them. I want to make things clear. I have every intention, as I mentioned to Eisen yesterday, of joining the Starfinder Society by the end of today. We have plenty of information. We have done them a great favor. And that has everything to do with where we just were and nothing to do with Grace. Grace, as far as I'm concerned, has everything to do with Nanal. And did Nanal disembark, just to clarify?
Yes, Nanal disembarked. She told you, she's like, well, I'll head to the Lore Spire complex. See you if I see you. Bye. Thank you.
Then Tetsu goes, so should I give Grace to Nanal? Because I don't think
No.
she should get Nanal.
No,
Oh.
that's what I'm saying. She left without Grace, and it wasn't... We had an escort mission that has nothing to do with Grace, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what she told them, but I am of the camp that unless they bring Grace up specifically, she stays safe with us. Not in a manner of averting this information, but simply... I have every plan, like I mentioned, to be a part of the Starfinder Society. And I want to make sure that happens.
That's all fine and good. I need to be in the society as well, but I am uncomfortable with, I apologize, Grace, holding a ticking time bomb for an extended period of time. I'd much rather hand it over to them and wipe our hands of it if it is to be theirs, and let whoever chases after it fight them.
That's valid. I just simply want to know ahead of going in there what our overall plan is. Walk in and here's Grace, or walk in and we need to talk.
I think that's going to happen regardless. I don't see why it can't be. We'll need to talk regardless, so we can figure out what
We
happens
will
from there.
Wing it then, she says with very little confidence as Moat continues to disconnect Grace, and on we go.
I love the wing it plan.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
All
it's
right.
not so
Who
much
needs
wing
to
it as
prepare?
much as like read the room, right? Like,
Yeah.
And then you hear, all right, I am fully not integrated any longer.
I am fully not integrated.
Eyebrow waggle. I am no longer integrated. Moat, roll me an engineering check.
Ooh. Do you need
Alrighty.
when she says
assistance
that, can
with
I also
this?
roll a sense motive? Like, was that
Yeah.
sadness that I heard, or was that just the like? Am I?
That's just
overreading?
Waffle being sad.
Is the engineering check something that
I would like to assist her.
help is available on?
Sure. Yeah, this is more about like
Tetsu will help.
unplugging the different tendrils Grace has connected to the computer.
26.
She does not retract them herself, and they're yours to go.
12 to help, so I help.
26. So
Having
good.
tendrils myself, I will too.
All right.
21.
I rolled an 18, so 18 plus whatever. Is that 3 helps
6.
or
Yeah.
3 helps.
Looks like 18 plus
6?
4 help. No, it's 3 helps. Sorry, I thought
3.
I was counting
Okay.
Eisen. Yeah. So 24 total. Eisen, your sense motive, a 15. You're listening to her. You definitely. She's off, which is weird for an AI. Period.
It's weird.
It was almost like she expected to stutter and caught herself. That's what you catch. It was like a like when a human knows they're about to sneeze, and they're like they stop their voice like slightly, and they just sound weird for half a second. That's what you catch, Eisen. Moat with a 24, easy enough. All of you are kind of around. Boop, 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 boop. Pull out each tendril very carefully. You don't think there's in any certain order you need to pull them out. Wasn't very hard. You just don't need to break something off into your ship. Grace is fully disconnected and back into a Nintendo Switch-sized box.
Moj,
Alright.
would you like me to carry her securely? And I kind of like open up my arm with a twist.
I still want to ask about that later, but sure, that's fine. Just
I hold out my empty arm that has a bunch of knickknacks in there. It's like a car dash.
It's like chewing gum.
Mode holds up the
Cigarettes.
box. Just don't integrate with Tetsu. Okay.
Puts
You
it
want
in-
her all
Like
to
a small
yourself,
stick
buddy.
bug crawls on it and he pushes the stick bug in and then shuts the latch.
Tetsu, I need a will save. No, I'm just kidding.
My ultimate form.
Eisen will
She
lean over
doesn't.
to.
She doesn't answer back though, obviously, because she's not integrated with anything and can't talk. What's up, Eisen?
Eisen will lean over to whoever is next to him and be like, "If that thing gets stolen, will that count as armed robbery?"
Oh, please leave.
Correct.
All right, guys, we're closing the
Minus-
show.
Minus 2 levels for Eisen.
I love it. That's
If you
like
go to level 0, do you
half a-
die?
half a chicky nuggy for Eisen. Next great pun, he gets a full chicky nuggy. I love it.
I think
I'm a pun fiend.
Dude,
Let's
I think
go.
that's the
Puns are the
name of
meta
the
now.
episode.
Armed robbery.
Right?
Oh, my-
It's a good one.
Anyways, we head off to the Lore Spire complex.
All right. Okay, you guys. Walking through Absalom Station, it is as packed as you've heard of, or as packed as anyone remembers it being. You're sitting here going through the arm. A lot of the arms are where the residential areas are. And to get to the Lore Spire complex, the quickest way for you is to go through the vest quarters. So you're sitting here going through, and it is just this machine plate walls meets like airport floor kind of feel, transitions into what you imagine like an almost futuristic Russian military feel to feel like, for lack of better words. You see vests everywhere. Many of them outfitted like they're about to fight each other. Like there are people carrying pole arms on their back. There are people carrying swords at their hips. I should say, all of you would know, you were warned by security. You may carry weapons. None may be drawn, ever. If they are drawn, it should be to save somebody's life, and you'll still be questioned afterwards. Like it is a broken law to draw a weapon.
It's considered like safe here. Like it's not like we're likely to get stabbed by somebody, right?
Yeah, not at all. Unless you go into some of the unsafer places. There are unsafe places. This is definitely not one of them. You would know them. They're in the lower quarters of the residential areas, basically. They're so unsafe that they've been just kind of left to their own devices by the security. The security no longer goes down there to try to make them right. But you walk through these vest quarters, vest everywhere, kind of almost military outfitted, just like their norm. It's like their everyday. And eventually you walk past, going down the ring, and you make it to the Lore Spire complex. You walk in, walk into this kind of double door. It's left wide open, and you see this very large room. It's almost has a royal feel to it, with a large brown desk behind it, and you see behind it a very buttoned up, classy look for a female, brown hair like down to her shoulders, and she's in a suit. You see her glance up. Definitely an android when you see like the shine in her eyes, and she says, "Yes, may I help you?"
This is Zeha and my associates. We called ahead.
Yes, we spoke earlier, not long ago. I will go get somebody for you. Please wait.
I have a question for you, Waffles, as a GM.
Yeah.
Why are all your androids secretaries?
It's a great question. Ask Starfinder. Ask Paizo.
Because they do a lot of the menial, low-level tasks.
Rude.
There was one. The
Uh,
Data wasn't a secretary. He just got
That's
murked.
true.
Dad was like,
Yeah,
what was it, the janitor or something?
No, he was working.
The do-boy?
He was the bathroom
I guess
escort.
none of you actually
Bathroom
know.
escort?
And none of you actually know, but off screen we see like his memorial. He was actually normally a worker for like the back office. Like he actually did work for the Silver Drake, and just in that instance, he had already finished all his work and was like wanted to stay on the clock and was helping with whatever they needed, which
That idiot.
escorting strangers to the bathroom is one of the things they needed.
I
He was like
imagine all
grabbing
that poor
people water,
decision.
like he was working overtime basically.
Man.
What a
I imagine
really
all that was
poor
like
Just
his
needed to feed his
eulogy, like
family.
someone's like talking at his funeral, like that one day he was working overtime.
As
Back
his wife
when-
and children cry over his body, and just thinking like his last thought was, "Man, I died working overtime."
He had finished all his normal work for the day, much faster than everyone else. All right.
Do you think he got reincarnated?
Zero
in some
1 1 0
isekai?
1 0 1.
He's in like a fantasy light novel now.
Gross. Okay. Yeah. The android leaves, comes back. Eventually, a Lashunta male comes in. Absolutely beautiful, light purple skin, no like blemishes on the skin whatsoever. Dark purple hair, kind of slicked back. Also in a suit.
Oh, hey.
Come. You say that. He says, "Come. Let us talk in private." And that is where we'll take a break.
Uh,
I
boy.
knew that's what would happen.
I
Oh shit!
Wouldn't be any other way.
Zeha does not say that. However, she does look down at her own probably very dirty clothes at this point and is very self-conscious. But on that note, we shall take a break and contemplate the funeral of
Contemplate.
Data, the wonderful overtime android. We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Tears must be shed. BRB.
Go or okay.
So are we live now? Did we go?
We made it.
Did we
Did we-
did we
did we
make
do
it?
Maybe.
Oh, this
I
is
don't know.
awkward.
Are we?
Doctor,
Are we actually on TV? I know at
Dr.
least one
Lenz-
person watches us on their
Hi,
TV.
Mom.
Therefore,
Hi, Mom.
we're famous.
Dr. Lens disease was
Hi.
no joke, y'all.
No.
Yeah.
Hi, other person's mom.
Coop's dying in real life. I think Waffles injected him with something.
Some stomach distress. When you
Yeah.
mutate in the
Yeah.
game, you
Got
mutate
him.
in real life.
That's called Alabama water.
Joke's on you. I don't drink water. No, I'm just kidding.
That
not
explains
really.
some things.
That explains.
Same.
All right.
All right,
Look, I know I have a problem.
but you guys have come into the Lore Spire complex. You
Yeah.
wait. The android leaves you in the waiting room. The sick jazz is playing behind you. And eventually, this beautiful Lashunta male comes. Light purple skin, dark purple hair, slicked back in a suit. Says, "Come, let us talk in private." And he motions for all of you to follow him into what looks like a kind of a side door to what is behind the desk.
Zeha straightens her clothes as best she can, uncomfortable with her presentation, which is very unlike her, and then follows.
Then kind of glances back at everyone, but enters without a problem.
Tetsu's still armored and walks in. Actually, no. Tetsu is back to his nice suit. He knows this place is safe. He's back to a nice suit. He's looking good, unlike, shabby Zeha over there.
She did have best on
Pretty
the
shabby.
ship to clean up, but she's a little worse for wear. I guess I did have clothes on the ship, didn't I? So, never mind.
Probably. Why not?
Eisen would have definitely have ironed his clothes. Like that's a thing he would have done before.
Okay, fine. She's
landing
not
down.
shabby then. She's not gonna be like the shabby one of the
You said
group.
it, you said it.
She's
so-
shabby in like her terms, right? Like she's
Right.
not. She's definitely not in like fancy wear. She's just in your probably your. She's walking into a meeting with a hoodie on.
Right, you feel
The equivalent for
underdressed.
her, which is basically another dress. think
Yeah, exactly.
think Tahani from The Good Place.
Yeah, she's in a summer dress when she should really be in a formal dress.
Exactly. This isn't my evening dress.
These earrings don't match correctly. My jewelry is not appropriate for this occasion.
What about
Cut
you?
down
Bill?
to Moat, who is, fiddling over the repaired bite marks in the coveralls and just brushes off a little bit of extra dirt, but there's still just tons of like oil stains and stuff like that all over their coveralls.
Beautiful.
You were all led to a room, basically just right through this door. Goes down a very short hallway, probably 20 feet, and you're led to a room with a very large stone table with food, very fresh food, fresh sandwiches, fresh like type of seafood, different meats, drinks, all set out for you. And you see him sit down on one side. There are 5 chairs sat down on the other side. And he says, "Please, take a seat. Enjoy. Let us speak of what has transpired."
If we may start with introductions, my name is Zeha.
Arvin, as he takes your hand.
Arvin the Lish?
Oh my.
Arvin, Arvin.
Like Marvin without the M.
Basically, yeah.
He changed it when he joined the Starfinder Society.
Yeah, he's like, man, Starfinder hate M's. Zehavum T.
From now
Oh,
on,
no.
as I join the Starfinder Society, it is Zeha Vunti.
Zehavuti and Oat.
Oat. What's your name? Oat. Like the food? No, just oat.
Oat. Okay.
He's sitting there kind of waiting on everyone else to introduce themselves if they wish.
If they don't, I will continue and introduce the rest of you.
Moat
No, I mean,
will step
Tetsu.
up and just... Moat. Wow, I feel underdressed. Oh well.
No, do not worry about it. You just came from a job. It is fine. Sit, eat.
If you say so. All right. And Moat will go take their seat and work some food in there.
I
I'm Tetsu.
And I am Dr. Len Azovstan.
Pleasure.
Is there anything on his desk that designates what his role is in the Starfinder Society, and or do I know from...
None whatsoever. Actually, on this entire table, you see a bunch of food, a bunch of drinks, and one single button in front of him.
I press the button.
the ejector button for the 5 seats we sit
in front of him.
I reach for the cookie. Oh no, I pressed the button.
Did he stutter?
Arvin, it's a pleasure to meet you. May I ask, as she kind of looks around this otherwise empty room, is this a safe place to discuss Starfinder business? And what may I ask for your credentials, if you will?
Sure. It will be a safe place. After you all allow me to press this, he kind of points at the button. But prior, I am Venture Captain Arvin of Lorspire Complex, Absalom Station.
Do I know what he means by that? Is that some technology that I'm familiar with?
I would say You definitely don't know what he means by the button, if that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about the venture captain, yes, that's known enough within the Starfinder. Like Starfinder Society is rather big,
Yeah.
so that's known enough to know that he is like he's basically officer rank, and like he's not a foot soldier. He gets he commands people, he gathers intelligence kind of thing. Like he's not out doing jobs.
Yeah, I was asking about the button, but that does make sense. I'm dying because Dr. Len and Moat are just jazzing over here.
Dude, this song is so good, though.
I'm just imagining
bop.
like
Play it too much.
you two actually sitting in the back there in your chairs, just jamming, bopping.
Yeah,
Just
you
break
hear
it
him.
down.
Please turn off the jazz. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Deet. How dare.
Well,
Deet.
the button. What? Can you explain? You understand my hesitation. I want to ensure sensitive material stays sensitive.
Well, it's 5-on-1, as you see. But sure,
No, I don't.
you won't fill your weapons. Nobody else will hear us, and we'll just ensure that nobody's gonna hurt each other within the room.
Oh, very well. I'm looking at you all like, the fuck?
His
They have
hand,
me
like,
Tetsu
over.
has some food in his mouth.
I think
Yeah, he's,
like
like,
Eisen opens like a
reaching
bottle
for
of
him.
water or something, and it just says, "You have me over a barrel anyway." So it's not like if you kill me, you kill me.
No one's killing anybody. I'm looking aghast because that is so taboo.
And you see him kind of wave his hand. He's, no one is killing anyone. You're here to report. If you wish to walk out, you can. I'm here to ensure that the information stays safe.
But please press the button, please.
He actually takes his time and looks to the other two, Dr. Len and Moat.
I have no problem with it if it's standard safety protocols.
I mean, I kind of want to press the button, so go ahead.
If you wish to, here. And he leans back and allows you to press it if you want.
Zeha is
Die
leaning
instantly.
back,
Click.
one of her arms like this, just on her head, rubbing
How many times
oncoming
does
my...
Moat attempt to press the button?
What's up?
3 presses is a self-destruct for the station.
Don't give me that much
yeah.
power. Not just a,
You actually get it one press in, and it's one of those buttons that like stops at the bottom and very
down.
slowly rises up, like over the course of a minute. You all hear, or sorry, you don't hear anything. You all feel and see kind of these 3 waves of energy blast out, and 3 things are gonna happen. 1,
No.
you feel your weapons turn oddly cold, almost statically charged. And if any of you want to check, no ranged firearms work.
Range, range. You said.
Yeah, he can't. He
These
can't
guns
stop.
are good to go, sir.
He can't stop blades. 2, you feel as if you're almost like in a pressurized room, like a closet. I don't even know how to explain it if you haven't been like in a submarine or something. But as if your words might not travel very far, yet you get the sense they could be heard in here. Like you just feel this odd pressure in the room. 3rd, as the 3rd wave crosses you, I need everyone to make a will save.
Oh, fuck.
Ah,
oh boy.
truth lasers.
Rude.
Truth laser.
Guys, this is my really good save. By really good save, I mean +0. Ooh, 15.
Fucking balls.
Wow.
I'm going to
20.
hero
Course, plus
point
1.
my 8. I don't like it. I'm going to use my chicken nugget as given to me by Space Granddaddy himself.
That's going on the end of the clip.
No.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that, Syrup. Could you speak up a little bit?
11.
His Space Granddaddy chicken
You have
nugget.
failed,
Not great.
Space Granddaddy.
Must have been getting old from last week. Funnily enough, all of you, Phil.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
with my
not-
21, that's impressive.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you the DC. And we'll save DC 24.
We were
You
set up.
all feel a
I wouldn't have been able to get it no matter what.
Yeah, crit.
not
would be
without
the
a
only
natural
thing.
20 saves. Natural 20s work. But you feel a calm wash over you. Everyone that failed, which is all of you, feels like if you wanted to enact a hostile action, you couldn't.
Sanctuary spell.
No other emotions are hindered. You're allowed to speak emotionally, like you can get angry if you were mad at Tetsu, you're still mad. You just, if you want to punch him, you don't feel like you can.
So Dr. Len's insatiable bloodlust is still there.
Yep.
Okay, that sucks.
But impotent.
But
He just can't.
Yeah.
His gun doesn't work, and he can't take a hostile action, so he can't even draw it.
You've got a limp tentacle, sir.
I would be killing you if I.
The thing is Varso is partially, not Varso, Dr. Len is partially transparent, so you see the blood boiling inside.
It's like a lava lamp.
Yeah. Anyways, Zeha takes it with stride. And it looks like he
Sure.
affects him as well, right?
As far as you can tell, I mean, he doesn't have any firearms on him, and he doesn't really blink or anything. So, you get the sense that he's done this probably over 100 times. So,
Sure.
he looks at you and goes, "Well, now that precautions have been taken, please share with me what happened."
And Zeha will, unless you want me to say it all.
If you're lying about anything, you can tell me. Otherwise, like if you just say you shared it, I'm good with it.
The way I want to tell the story is like I start at the beginning. We were hired for this job, and then very factually, politely, and socially aware,
Diplomatically.
diplomatically, if you will, I explain as well, like, we arrive at Roswell, all this stuff, and constantly, not angrily, not showing emotion at it, but very, like, matter-of-factly, she left us, even though we were charged, like, Nanal left us, even though we were charged with protecting her. She lied about this stuff, like, all of it, right? And then I also tell them that she offered to pay us less in exchange to providing Starfinder information, but like interspersed throughout all of it. Like, no, just this is everything that happened, kind of a deal. And then with much more concern and much more focus, the part on the moon.
Sure.
I
Do
said,
you leave out?
"Bitch."
Do you leave out the information about Grace?
The thing is I don't know if I can at that point. Like, if
Do you leave out the fact that Tetsu is carrying Grace?
Oh yeah, no. At that point, I stop there. Like, I tell what happened on the mission, not past that.
Okay. You watch him. He looks as if he is taking down some sort of notes in like a data pad type thing, as like you hear his fingertips hitting like the touch screen of what would be a keyboard kind of type deal.
One more thing I want to add is that I say everything we did with the same sort of type of manipulation in terms of, like, we went out of our way to do this for the Starfinder Society, that type of pitch as well.
Right.
For sure. Go ahead and make me a diplomacy check. As again, you see him. Looks like he's typing down all of this on what looks to be a touch screen type keypad.
I'm so glad I used that chicken nugget, folks. Just out of sheer
Yeah.
curiosity, can everybody tell me what their diplomacy modifier is? I want to feel better about myself.
-1.
Okay.
0?
Okay.
-1.
Okay.
0.
0.
I'm sure
Okay, I feel better about myself. +1.
De facto face of the party.
Yeah.
You have a +1 and that's it.
20!
there you go, fine.
Holy moly.
Good roll.
Born to
Okay.
do this.
Good lord.
You see a small smirk like crawling up his face as he's like typing in all of everything you're saying. You watch him kind of bring 2 hands up to the screen, kind of like swipe it outwards as if like you're opening a 2-sided like fast food restaurant window kind of thing. You see him like swipe the fingers outwards like to the left and right. Yeah. And
Waffle's former job, apparently.
yep. No, I'm just kidding. I've never worked at a fast food restaurant. He looks at it and he sits there for a second, smiles. Well, not exactly what Nena said, but that does track overall.
I smile in return
I mean-
with curiosity. I'm like, oh, and what did Ninal report?
Nena. You see him like think for a second if he wants to tell you. He says basically the same things. What I assume is her side of the story. I imagine it all falls within the middle somewhere.
Technically, I didn't lie at all.
And you don't get the sense like he's upset by it at all. Yeah, he's just like, she said what she was going to. You said what you said.
And I wasn't throwing
But-
Ninal under the bus. Like, yeah.
No, not at all.
You ran the bus over her a little bit. Just a little bit.
It sounds that
You
way in
sent the bus in
summary,
from
but like
orbit and
as I was
destroyed
doing
her
it, definitely wasn't.
And after all this, you watch him almost like switch modes. You see his face kind of grow a little serious. He turns the screen on his little data pad off, shoves it to the side. So, the AI, you have it?
Len looks to Tetsu.
Tetsu looks obviously sheepishly at Zeha.
So Aizen actively, like, if Zeha pauses, Aizen just says yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Tetsu waits.
but
Here?
secure. My concern is in whose hands it goes to. As you understand, this wasn't exactly the original intention of our job. Admittedly not with the Starfinder Society, but I do believe the Starfinder Society would be the safest place to go to with this information, hence why we're here. You understand our concerns for safety all around, especially having learned what we did regarding some of the experimentations that you... And I'm blanking on the word here.
Sponsored.
Yes.
Experimentations we sponsored. Feel free to send the paperwork up. Otherwise, the AI that you have, we would like it. You did succeed where another team of the Starfinder Societies failed.
I don't say anything, but interesting. Does he...
So,
Wait, like
I'll offer you.
Silver Drake or the moon?
This is the time for the outspoken members of the team. Go, go, go.
You see a continuous sentence.
Raised
So,
eyebrow.
I'll offer you. We will give you badges, lodgings,
Tetsu's already unlocking his armor.
Starfinder Society backpacks. If
This is an item that I learned of today,
We
guys.
get
It's so
promo
good.
gear!
it is, and if anyone like everyone give me,
Oh,
is there
Just
like
got
a,
a logo.
there's not a society check here, right? So
No,
No.
is there like a history?
can I explain about it?
No, no.
We can do
I'll
culture
let you.
check.
With the logo on
Yeah,
it?
everyone give me a culture check real quick.
Could I make it bodyguard? Would that work? I don't know if that would
No,
work.
it
Eight.
wouldn't. If there's any kind of like bureaucrat check that anyone has, go for it. But otherwise, it's culture, I think.
12.
13.
17. My rolls have been good today.
Jinxed it just now.
8.
Wow, natural 3 for Zeha. You rolled so poorly, I'm not gonna let you explain it.
No.
Ha.
Okay, go for
Wreck.
it. I will actually say that
I mean,
Eisen would know.
the thing is, I've researched the Starfinder Society. I feel like this is not difficult knowledge.
It's
forgot it.
not very
Sucks to
difficult
suck.
knowledge, and you know they have backpacks. You've never like the research into the Starfinder Society doesn't say what their backpacks do. Eisen knows it from something. It's not difficult. It's DC 15. You rolled a natural 3.
So Starfinder backpacks are, yes, they're backpacks with the Starfinder insignia. However, they're awesome because they and anything that you look for in those backpacks you find instantly. It's one of their features. There are plenty of knockoffs on the market, not real ones. People try to sell for you, but there's only if the real ones come from the Lore Spire complex, and they give you when you go to calculate your carrying capacity, you add +4 to your strength modifier.
Ooh.
They are compact.
I am looking for
Basically-
happiness.
Basically, they're like a cheap bag of holding. If you can, like, you can't carry everything in there, but you can carry more, and you can find what you want instantly, no matter how chaotic it is in there.
And of course, they come with this fancy Starfinder logo.
Well, you've got a brand, right? Like the merchandising is important here.
Absolutely.
But he says, we will give you lodgings, backpacks, the badge, and whatever else each of you want, as is any of our employees, up to 1,000 credits as a loan. He raises his hand, as we expect that to be paid back. But this involves you all joining the Starfinder Society. And as joining the Starfinder Society, what your higher-ups ask for, especially during missions, they expect, including an artificial intelligence.
Can I sense motive?
Sure.
What I'm looking for specifically, I want to make sure it's not just me reading into just you listing what he was gonna give or whatever, because it's odd to me that you're you will join the Starfinder Society is not the lead of, I'll give you a badge and I'll give you all this stuff in exchange for, is it manipulative, or is it, what are his feelings on everything that we've been telling him? Is he proud of us, happy with everything? You know what I mean? All that.
Absolutely. Give me a sense motive.
18.
Okay. You get the sense that he is indifferent to all of you. He is offering what he thinks is a very good deal for the AI. You think that he has clearly come to the thought that you have the AI in your possession, whether that be here or on the ship.
Sure.
And basically, I'll tell you, overall, over the entire course of the offer and this conversation, you get the sense that he's impressed with what you've done, and he wants you to be part of the Starfinder Society, but he also wants that AI. That's that is what is leading to what he's saying. If you want to ask questions in character based on that,
Yeah.
absolutely feel free.
Yeah, and I do. I'm not speaking for the rest of the group, and I understand that is an excellent offer that you have on the table. And I don't know how to ask this in a way that doesn't imply any rudeness, so forgive me, but I would think that the integrity of the Starfinder Society would be impressed with what we have to offer outside of the AI I understand you wanting it, but I feel a little bit bribed as opposed to welcomed.
I do not mean to bribe you at all. I mean to give you what I assume. And you see him go through. And he goes through and names like each of your family names as if he's researched you.
Ooh.
What I assume each of you want. And that is to be part of the Starfinder Society, to have access to the Lore Spire complex, and likely, once diagnostics are run on the AI that you were, in an offhanded way, I will admit, hired to acquire, you will likely be placed on any missions based on the artificial intelligence. Now, if you wish for something else, if you want money and to just leave, please ask. There is no bribe here. But the artificial intelligence is what we are after.
No, I understand that. I just simply wanted to ensure that that wasn't the reason for the offer alone. But I understand.
Please, Zeha Vunti, you should know that if reason for the AI was the offer alone, you would all be walking out of here rich enough to never contact us again.
She smiles and nods. Well, I accept. And then I lean back and let the others.
Yes.
Tetsu's
Yes.
unlocking his arm.
I accept as well. Yes.
Yeah, she definitely didn't speak for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I said that. I clarified.
I'm confirming.
You know my personal circumstances. I don't have much of an option.
Zeha will remember that.
No.
I will
I do
use that
believe-
against you later.
And you watch him, he kind of looks between Eisen, Moat, and then the other three. But like his eyes linger on Eisen and Moat. And he says, I do believe everyone has an option. Yet, I believe ours are the best.
Eisen nods at this like he was gonna say, like, I do have other options, but like they're all shit. Like he doesn't say that, but like, it's like not a non-verbal communication of like yours is the best.
Right.
By the way, Zeha does put a hand on you, Tetsu, to keep you from doing anything further with like actually giving him the AI until we each also confirm our request, just to make sure. Like, we all just accepted the offer, but I want to make sure that we're going through, because he said and whatever, a personal request, right? Like, that's what he was saying.
I mean, that's not
Like an item.
explicitly what he said, but I mean, you get the sense that you could bargain for more if you wish. He didn't say like, we'll do this, and a personal request. He said, we'll give you backpacks, lodgings, anything you want to, up to 1,000 credits as a loan. You will pay it back.
Oh, that was connected. Anything we want up to 1,000 credits as a loan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Basically, you get the sense that like that's kind of offered to anyone new coming in. People over the course of this, I'll go ahead and tell you, all of you get the sense that the Starfinder Society doesn't just take in anyone. They take in people with skills. A lot of times, people with skills come from places where they don't have the money to make anything of themselves. Because if they did, they wouldn't be at the Starfinder Society. They would be a millionaire by now. So, taking in brand new blood, you get the sense like it's not even a special offer, minus the fact that you guys would be placed on missions with grace.
Right.
Like there's nothing special about this author. You get the sense it's given to every new Starfinder recruit.
Based off of his earlier statement, is it kind of non-verbally being said that we'll be sticking together for a while? Like, is that a conclusion that I could draw?
Yes.
Okay.
You get the sense like
What?
he probably has a sense of what the mission for the AI would be. I'll go ahead and tell you, like, without a check, you all get the sense that he hasn't called the AI Grace yet.
Right.
He has said the AI, the artificial intelligence.
Mhm.
But you do get the sense
She
that
has
like
a name.
he wants to run the diagnostics, and he has an idea of what he expects the next mission to be. And if you're all placed on that, maybe there'll be more people, but it'll at least be all of you.
As a complete aside, Arvin,
Yes.
does the Starfinder Society have connections with the Hamisforth Theatorium?
We all
Not-
look as she quickly says that.
Raised
Not
eyebrow emote.
Specific?
Particularly, no, we don't have explicit connections, but we do enjoy the shows. The sports are a very good way to get over a battle, we should say.
I was just curious. Tetsu, if I may.
May what?
Have grace.
Oh.
Amen.
Grace.
Finishes
Is that,
twisting his arm.
Grace, is that what she is called? They? It?
Yes, and actually what I was going to give you a rundown on now that we are official Starfinder members.
You see him like lean back and put his arms in there. So you accept?
We already all said we accept.
Yeah. Eisen adds when he says, "So you accept?" I say, "I have certain stipulations on personal matters, but they're
Okay,
minor."
this is why I was wondering if you are officially accepting. Stipulations are not part of accepting. I would like to hear everything now.
Oh.
And he like puts his hands out. It's like,
Mhm.
you accept the offer, or you you negotiate, right, Zeha?
No, indeed. I apologize. I will give everybody the opportunity. That's why I was curious
There's a
about
rummaging sound.
the theatorium.
Yeah, as he's searching for Grace, like he has to go deep in his arm, as he's just like, no.
Sorry, it stuck to bubblegum.
Give it to me, you stupid cleaner.
And by the way, I'm very making it clear, like for Tetsu, like to give it to me, not to him.
So,
sure.
Seeing that and kind of like looking up to the ceiling for half a second. You've done research on me, yes?
Enough.
You understand my concerns with letting certain bits of information outside of certain spheres.
Yes. Any information learned by the Starfinder Society will remain within the Starfinder Society.
And as such, I'd like to keep certain things even more personal if I can. Dr. Len has proven several times during the course of this that he is at least somewhat skilled, and based off of what I've learned in his past, I'd like him to be read in at a later date, given certain
You are
circumstances.
a skilled doctor. That did not show up in my research. I knew you had lost your license, but
Len just like kind
Oh.
of looks off to the side of the room. Well, I'm kind of in private practice currently, but yes.
I will also like be
very well.
have his back and be like, license or not, he has proven his worth as a doctor many times over in the past week.
Very well. I will route that up. He will, at the very least, have a Starfinder license to practice.
Like,
You are
Len
now a
doesn't
real
have
doctor.
emotions, but
Tets.
like somehow you can see he brightens up like the world.
It's like it's all rosy.
He gets the anime eyes, like, he doesn't have eyes,
There's
but
a
like,
little
his
shimmer.
gel twinkles.
The blush
You can-
across
you
the
can
bell.
tell.
Mhm.
It is very seldom that we have a practitioner that comes through that is truly skilled. We usually teach our own.
Yes, I'd be happy to share what I Sorry, excuse me. Anything I know, yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
If Resk could make contact with the doctor about certain things, that would be appreciative. That is my main stipulation. It shouldn't be that hard.
Okay, so out of character, you're wanting Dr. Lin to be able to contact Resk.
Right, exactly. Basically, I want Dr. Len to be my main GP because I want my secrets to stay close to me, and he's proven to me that he at least is good enough that if he's close, he can help, and if I need to kill him, I can.
Oh my God.
That's
Sure.
Horizons.
Regardless of
fine. I
whether
think you
Dr.
could
Len
kill Dr.
agrees or not, Dr. Len, you are his GP now.
Yeah, no, so-
patient confidentiality.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like
Right.
Eisen is not like this is not like like we can have that conversation later, but Eisen is very specifically not asking. Len's
Tetsu's
permission.
vlog is just setting up like all these. Eisen stuff is very weird. Dr. Lin talks about it in the room all the time. It's
And
very
you-
strange.
You see him nod, and he's like, very well. We'll set up a point of contact between Dr. Lin and Resk.
There's that name again.
I look forward to meeting Rest. Like, kind of looks towards Eisen like, am I
Eisen
supposed
makes
to look
no
forward
eye
to meeting Rest?
contact. Like there's no like Eisen has specifically not looked at Dr. Len this
You
entire
are
time.
a means to an end, Dr. Len. You mean nothing.
Aw, dang it.
Your chopped
Just
liver.
like back on
Your chopped jelly.
Primoria.
Is there anything else?
Do Tetsu or Moat request anything?
When
Oh,
when Arvin mentioned Moat, did he give any indication of any other name of Moat? Because as far as Moat's aware, it's just Moat.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
he didn't give any indication
Okay,
of anything
okay.
else.
Got it.
Tetsu will speak up and just go, speaking of doctors, if you know or hear of a Dr. Duro and where he might be, could you let me know?
Sure. Would you like us to run a search while we're running diagnostics on the... He holds his hand out. The artificial intelligence, Grace, before we get back to you?
Sure. Yes, thank you.
Very well.
And Moat, you weren't requesting anything, right?
Correct.
Then
There is something I'd like to, unless you're going to say something, Zeha, sorry.
go.
That I hope that you said that you have practitioners that you've trained as part of the Starfinder Society, correct?
Yes, they are up and coming. Very few lawful practitioners stay with us. I'll be candid with you. You can make more money out of the Starfinder Society as a practiced doctor.
The money's not my point. You have some sort of lab they work at, though, correct?
Within the Lore Spire complex and most Starfinder Society holds, yes, we do.
All right, then it will be no problem for me to have access to that sort of thing. You heard everything we discussed about the adaptation serum. I'd like to be able to run some tests, etc., collaborate with some fellow minds.
Absolutely. As long as everything that you are researching is also being documented to us, there's no problem.
And he hesitates for a moment and then, yeah, no problem.
I do also suggest, I'm sure we'll be briefed on security protocol, but this information is being kept from the general populace, right? Is there different security levels within the Starfinder Society that we should know who can or can't know about this?
There are. We trust the Starfinder Society and everyone that we bring in. Everybody is given security based on time within the Starfinder Society. So you can expect that your knowledge will not be shared with people that are in with your time immediately, as will any knowledge of people that have just come in be shared with you.
Yes.
And basically, he's explaining there's a hierarchy of time, and it's in a tower that, like, you guys are. Well, let's say you guys are ground floor. Well, level 2 gets access to the information of ground floor. Level 3 gets access to all information below it. Level 4 gets access to all information below it, blah, blah, blah.
I guess what I'm asking is, like, what we just brought to the table is pretty sensitive. I know we just started at ground floor, but is this considered ground floor knowledge? Do you know what I mean?
Right, who can we talk to about this?
That's what you're asking specifically? Yeah. Gotcha. You see him kind of think for a second. Sure, you are ground floor. We usually keep this to ourselves, but information that does not seek to be, is not sought after by second level, third level. I am probably the ground floor for such information. Adventure captains and higher. Which, it doesn't go much higher. It is adventure captains and the first seekers. That's it.
Sorry, I'm a little confused. You said he is ground floor, but, like, I'm thinking ground floor is a rank.
For this information.
Like
so he's the bottom line of this information. So he's not ground floor.
Basically, he's saying you guys know it because you know it. No one else will. And you get the sense he's speaking of Grace and the adaptation project, and nothing else. Everything else would be
newbies are in the basement.
So basically, if he's 8th floor, that means 8th floor is the first level that is
8th floor and higher can know about this. And that's what I mean as well for when Dr. Len, the reason just to make this easier, continue out of character, like, the reason she was saying this was because Dr. Len was saying, like, he wanted to work on this with the lab, so, like, does he need to have access and make sure that other people aren't, that type of thing. Security.
For sure. You get the, like, overall, we'll just speed up the conversation a little. You get the sense that he's going to be logging his information, submitting paperwork, and then that information will be going to someone. There are also cameras in the room to ensure that what he's logging is correct, but all the information written down and, like, what the cameras see from what this person has said is going to, we'll continue with what Mo said, 8th floor and higher.
Okay. Okay. Did he mention how long it takes to gain to the higher level?
No.
Okay.
Do you want to ask?
Typically, what is the advancement pace for within the Starfinder Society? Promotions and the like? Is it solely time, or is it also missions and the like? And if so, what basis of time?
It is usually time, because very few seek to do what would endanger them. But if you wish to be some, and you watch him, like, fist bump, go-getters, then
Please don't do that.
Who knows? You may be a venture captain yet. And you sense some sarcasm behind it, in the sense that, like, will you advance? Yes. Will you reach his station before his life is up? Not likely.
Okay, first of all, rude.
Second of all, we kill him. So.
We'll go on like 100 suicide missions.
Then when it's her turn, she will, like, after that, when it's her turn for negotiation, you mentioned researching us. How familiar are you with the Ramsam 10?
Well, we're familiar enough. And you see him hesitate for a second. We know you're from the Adari. We know the reason you were established. We know what you're after.
So he does. So the Starfinder Society knows the other side of the ROM 710, is what I'm gathering from this.
That's what he said.
She smiles. Well, in that case, what I request is for the Society's help in continuing my connections so that I may assist the Society as well. That's why I was asking about the theatorium. The more exposure that the Society helps me get in my performances, the more that I can help.
You watch him kind of place like both fingertips on his chin as if he's just kind of looking at you for a second. He goes, well, I will accept on a condition.
She didn't
I
notice.
will assume that we're at even ground thus far. When you help us, we'll help you to bring you back to even ground.
That sounds fair. And just to make sure that they got lost in translation, she's looking to network. Because
Yep.
even outside of everything else that she has going on, she knows that if she comes back with great networking, that's the key to her success.
For sure. And you get the sense that he's saying, like, you give them something, and they will give you something back. Like, to bring you back to zero. Like, you're paying 100, then they'll give you 100.
Yep, perfect. I agree, and then if that's everybody, I will... If I have Grace Tetsu, do I have her now?
Tetsu hands over Grace to Purple Man. Got it!
The purple guy.
Purple man.
Is there like a
reaches
rubber
out.
ducky on the desk where you had to like dig out and like how many things had to be dug out of your arm?
There is this like little...
You purposefully don't hand it to me?
No, I will give it to you if you're going to be Dragon Lady about it. There is a stick bug though that he pushes back into his arm and that closes back up. But that's the only thing that escapes Eisen.
Okay,
This little stick bug thing.
when I hand Grace over very slowly, making sure no one has anything else to say, I place it on the table and I add, there's definitely something odd in her coding that definitely requires diagnostics. She stutters on occasion and tries to catch herself. It's odd.
Wait one. I'm rolling a check.
Eisen will add to that when that's brought up. Kind of quietly, once like Grace has crossed the table, she seems more complex than a simple AI. A level of emotion that shouldn't be present.
Well, I can very much tell you it's not a simple AI. But as far as stuttering, that is not something we have ever run into. But that's the sense that we wanted in our hands to run diagnostics, and we'll share what we think that is worthy to share with your crew.
She seems to be aware that she's somehow flawed, as if hiding it or expecting it to come on.
Very well. With this new information to light from Miss Zeha and Mr. Eisen, I do...
Zeha Voom T, what's so difficult about this?
Excuse me, I don't use the full name unless I actually respect you. But with this new information from Miss Zeha and Mr. Eisen, I do expect this to take a couple of days. We will place you up in lodgings. We do have a room. I say a room. A building that you can all stay in. There are 4 different beds and a couch. I imagine you can all sleep. If you don't want to, feel free to pay for whatever else is on Absalom Station. I would like you to stay here if possible during the rest of your time. The 2, 3, 4 days. Please do not leave with the emissary. But if you wish to turn down the offer of Starfinder Society employees, feel free to leave.
Isn't that ship your property?
It is, and that is why we're asking you not to leave with it in those 3 or 4 days.
Zeha has to go get her stuff. 2 luggage.
Yeah, and I mean, you get the sense by like everything he's saying. Like, you're allowed to go on the ship. You can sleep on the ship, honestly, if you want. Just don't leave with it.
Yeah.
Like, leaving with it is basically Grand Theft Auto.
Perfectly fine.
Tetsu'd stay on the ship because he's got to babysit. So
Okay.
Oh yeah, the foxes.
Moat will
Oh.
Moat will also stay on the ship, as they've been doing.
Sure.
Len will stay here because it's closer to the labs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
I'd stay
Eisen
here
will
as well.
stay here because it's closer to possible things that he'll have to do.
Okay. As
Tetsu will
Go-
bring
yeah.
up though. Sorry, Tetsu will bring up though as like we're finishing up the negotiations and stuff. Tetsu will be like, if I could have the loan, please, I would like the loan.
Sure. Here. And you watch like boop 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 on a little data pad very quick. It seems like he pressed maybe 3 buttons. You see into your account 1,000 credits. You get the sense that you're expected to pay the full 1,000 back.
I'm so rich.
Like
With
if you
compounded
spend
interest.
500, feel free to spend the 500 back kind of thing.
No terms on this loan.
Yeah, Eisen ain't touching that money. That money is like of everything. That money is.
Just wait
yeah,
till you
okay.
figure out
You know how long it took
the
me to pay off med school?
the interest on this thing is something else.
Tetsu don't
I was
care.
about- Does anybody ask?
No.
Eisen's just not gonna take it.
That's
So
Tetsu's burden.
yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
that's Tetsu's burden.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, Tetsu just assumes that take 1,000, give 1,000, right? That's how this works.
That's how this works.
Moat
Sure.
will ask, and Moat will inquire for their 1,000 credits as well, and actually will ask about the repayment time frame and if
Hidden
interest
fees.
is involved.
Yes. Pay prior to leaving. Just 1,000 credits. Feel free to. You got 3 or 4 days if you want to make money. And you seem like scratch his nose. Go for it. Every mission that you do for the Starfinder Society, there will be 20% added on top. So, first mission done, you're expected 200 on top. 2 missions done, you're expected 400 on top. Etc. Etc. Feel free to keep asking.
At least it's not compounded.
No way in hell.
you-
So what he meant by that was, as we progress in how many missions we completed, it is an additional 10% of the original 1,000 that we can request the next time.
No,
That you
it
owe.
is Yeah, he's giving you 1,000, and then every mission you complete,
Without-
basically every mission you're sent on, not even that you complete. Like, so if you basically, he said you have 4 days to pay back the full 1,000. If you are sent on a mission after that, you owe 1,200. If you're sent on another mission after all that and you still haven't paid back, you owe 1,400.
So yeah, okay. So just like having not paid back
Yeah.
the original, it's just
Yep.
additional.
Bet our viewers didn't know that we would be getting a lesson in debts.
Oh my
Welcome,
god.
viewers.
Tetsu
Don't
still
take
taking
credit
it.
cards.
Space.
No, it's giving
Don't
you
max
credit.
out your cards, kids.
But I mean, as anyone that's researched Starfinder stuff, 1,000 credits can get you a lot. Paying back the 200,
Yeah, I ain't touching
not
it.
horrible.
I mean,
Join
it
us next
could,
week when we
but
discuss taxes.
Come back next week. Excellent.
Yeah, no, Tetsu takes it and runs.
Okay.
He's got stuff to buy.
just through the wall, just Kool-Aid Man's right through the doors.
Boom.
Just boosh.
Once I finish
yeah.
buying my stuff, yeah.
Okay. Moat, do you take it? And does anyone else take the loan? And then we'll begin wrapping up.
No,
Moat takes it.
I'm good.
I'm
Moat
not
takes it?
touching that.
Moat takes it.
Yeah. Oh, can make that
Okay.
money.
Heck yeah.
Easy
right.
peasy.
Tetsu and Moat have 1,000 extra credits. Go ahead and add it to your character sheets.
Damn.
We watch as Tetsu and Moat head back to the ship. We see Moat likely go towards the engine room, begin working on Wasp a little. We watch as Tetsu goes to his and Dr. Lin's room, which is, for now, just his room. And begin head away, arm under the bed, playing with the Fennec foxes. They're there for now. We
Do they
watch
let me see
as.
them yet? Do they love Daddy Tetsu yet?
Do you attempt to see them?
Every once in a while, Tetsu like just kind of checks to see if they're cool with it yet.
Every time you look at them, they disappear. But they always come back
Heart
to the same
breaks a
spot.
little bit.
We watch as Zeha, Eisen, and Dr. Lin all go to their lodgings that they were provided. Very uppity hotel-like. You check in with kind of key cards. You walk in. It is basically... My brain is blanking on the word. What is the, like,
Ritz.
penthouse? There you go.
Penthouse?
Penthouse. It is basically like penthouse status as you walk in, open living room to dining room. There's fireplaces. There's like hologram TVs everywhere.
I am texting Tetsu and Moat like pictures of what they're missing.
Okay,
I feel bad for those fools.
for sure.
Tetsu feels uncomfortable at the thought of having to stay there.
You're kind of looking around. Food's provided. You have 3 separate bedrooms. One bedroom has 2 beds. The other 2 bedrooms have 1 bed each. And then, as said, there's a couch kind of in the living room. You all walk in, probably in the ritziest, like, the ritziest lodging you've been in a while. At least probably for the past 3 to 6 months. With everything provided for you, nice soft beds and penthouse suites, or in your quote unquote on spaceship. That's where we end the session.
Boo.
I have
Ah,
so many
man.
plans for what we're gonna do.